guys, it's Kate, and I hope you're having a fabulous day. I'm here with my Marie's Masters palette, and I just wanted to do something kind of simple and fun today. So I thought I would grab a piece of watercolor paper. Let me make sure it's actually on this screen. There we go. And I'm just going to give it a couple of spritzes. We're going to do some nice doodly blobs today. Gonna bring back the old school watercolor videos a little bit, and I'm just gonna make a nice fun blobby background, and then we will let it dry and add some marks. So I'm just gonna kind of dip into a color. Maybe I'll start with some of this Indian red. It's a really nice earthy red color, and so I'm going to grab some of this. I spritzed a couple times on my paper, and I'm just going to make some blobby shapes. And I guess I didn't really spritz enough, so I'm just going to give it a few more squirts just so we can get a nice wet background. So I'm just going to add some color to the page here. And let's go into another one. Why don't we do some burnt sienna? And I'm not being shy with my paint. I'm gonna just, and maybe we'll stick to kind of an earthy palette today. I'm gonna try to make some sort of random shapes. Not all ovals, but they'll all be kind of rounded. How about some yellow ochre? I always love yellow ochre. It's one of my favorite colors. And maybe we'll just have a little bit of touching there. And I'll go back to this Indian red. And maybe we add a little blob there, little blob down here. Maybe let that one spread out a bit. And I might even take a couple of these right to the edge of the page so that it has some room to spread out a bit. I'm going to go back into the burnt sienna and add just a hint over here. And I'm not going to be shy with my brush. I'm just going to get some nice blobs down there. And you can get some pretty neat texture too when you're just kind of mushing your brush a little bit and not trying to be careful. All right, let's go. Well, why don't we do another little blob of the yellow ochre up here. I'm just going to do some brush mushing, maybe add a little bit of water to this, just like that. And I might go into this alizarin crimson just a little bit to add some brightness here in a couple of spots. And that looks really nice with those earthy tones too. Reds and yellows just really go together nicely. I'll put it in, let's just say 3 little spots on here. And how about we do a little bit of this burnt umber right in here. And maybe I'll add just a little bit over here. Now I'm going to go back into this alizarin crimson. I'm going to just re-drop it in the same spot to strengthen the color a bit, and also over here just to brighten it up again. And now we can let this dry. All right, I am back. We are dry. I love how this looks. It's gorgeous. I love these colors together, and it reminds me of fall, which I know we're not in fall right now, but I mean, it's just my favorite. So we have a lot of oranges and earthy tones here, and a complementary of orange is blue. So I grabbed my blue Posca marker and my little circle template thing, makes it easier to trace. And I am going to put some circles going through my painting a bit, and then we're going to do some doodles. Now my first one I'm going to have kind of coming off the page so that the art can kind of extend beyond where we have our paint blobs, and it will just give us a little bit of that continuation. And since this is some pretty thin lines. The blue's not going to overpower everything either. Now what I'm going to do is when I come to meet my other circle, I'm just going to leave some of these overlapping. So I think I'm going to put another big one right here. And this will kind of be in the front. And then maybe one, maybe we'll do a little bit of a smaller one coming off the page here. And just use a different size. And how about one here? We'll use a smaller one for this also. And then maybe, let's see, maybe we'll have one coming right out over here. Why not? I like that. And then we'll have one right over this way. And then another couple of small ones maybe up here. I think that looks pretty good. I might add just one more small one down this way, just to have a little circle on this side of the page too, so they're not just all at that end. And I think this looks really cool already. I love this color blue mixed into that background. That looks really pretty. I'm going to give you a little close-up. And this one I didn't close all the way, so I'm just going to do that now. And here we have our start. So I grabbed my pigment liner. I have a 0.2 tip. It's pretty fine. And I'm going to start doing some little doodles in and around my circles. So I kind of want this one here and this one here to have the most interest, and maybe this one too. So these three are going to be kind of the focus. So I think for the first one, I'm going to put in just some little leaves. Those are my favorite things to make. I always love making leaves, and they're just so relaxing. And these are just very simple, and they're little, and they just add something delicate to the page. And I'll just add a couple of little sprigs here, just kind of randomly putting the leaves out, just like that. I think that looks really pretty. All right, now maybe for this one, we do something similar, but this one, maybe we color in our leaves. And I'm going to make the shape a little bit different too, just like that. So for this one, I'm going to do a third leaf, and I want it to be leaves still, but I'm going to make it a little bit different than these two. And I think for this one, I'm going to do some narrow leaves, kind of like you might see with like a pine tree or something, almost like needles, and maybe like ferns, maybe some nice wide leaves. Actually, let's do that. So I'm going to start with my stalk, and I'm going to have just some very narrow, kind of long leaves coming up in a fan shape. So it kind of widens like a tree coming toward the bottom. And maybe we have another one coming this way, and maybe one kind of poking in through there. Now for the rest of these, I'm just going to add some sort of abstract-y doodles, maybe some wavy lines here, and just keep it very simple. I mean, a lot of this is going to be the color contrast, and that is from the blue here, and then our 3 focal points. I'm going to do some straight lines here. And maybe for this one, we do a little bit of a spiral. Just like that. And then for this one, we can add some little circle shapes. I guess I'm starting to go with the roundness. Now on this one, I'm doing the circles also up against the edge so that it looks like the pattern just kind of continues. And I'm also, just for fun, going to alternate some of these sizes. I like doing that. That's just a personal preference of mine. So I'll do that in that one. Now for this one, I might make a little bit of a grid. So we'll go back to the lines and I might start some diagonal lines here. Just like that. And maybe I will have some coming the other way, but not for the whole circle. I'll just do a grid for part of it. And now I'm going to just flip my page around and I've got 2 more to complete. Now for this one, I might do more of a scallop shape. So I might, I don't know. Let's see, I'll go ahead and start here and I'm going to do just some light scallops going across the bottom, or well, it will be the bottom once this is turned back over. And I'm going to have them go all the way across. And then I'm going to do row by row. And this will bring some of the roundness in that we have down here. We have some other sort of rounded shapes where we have a lot of lines coming this way. So this will kind of give it a little bit of variety. And I like having the sort of patterns in these ones and the actual sketches in those ones. And now for this last one, I'm just going to do some zigzags. So these are just really simple doodles, but when you get everything together, it starts to just look kind of neat. You've got everything kind of going together. You have a theme. You have subject matter, and it's all very simple and pretty, and I really love that. I have these filled in here. I think I want to add just a little bit more solid black on a couple spots on the paper. So what I'm going to do is fill in a couple of these little dots that I've got just to add a touch more contrast down here. I may thicken some of these little leaf branches. So I'm just going to go over it a couple more times with my pen, not really trying to follow and copy the same exact line, kind of sketchy a little bit, but definitely thickening up the dark color, just like that. So it pops out at you a little bit more. And for these ones, I'm going to add a couple lines to some of these leaves just for some darkness. And I'm not even filling in all the leaves, just a couple for some variety. And that really kind of makes these 3 spots pop out, and you've got a little more contrast on the page. And I think we can call this done. So let me give you a close-up. And this was a fun one to do. It's very easy. It's a great way to break the blank page, get some inspiration, and just try to make some shapes and do something different in each one and just see how many different types of marks you can make. It's a great way to practice mark making. It's a great way to practice your painting, see what colors you like and how they blend together, and just have some fun, because really that's what this is all about. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope you try this, and thank you for watching as always, and have a great day. Till next time, keep creating.